So, I think the instructions are to leave a 90-second voicemail. But I don't feel like leaving a 90-second voicemail. Besides, I don't know if this voicemail is ever going to get played. I mean, it's been like months since your last show. I figured, since you had that great run of shows about Halloween, and they're all really long, and some of them had pretty shitty audio, even though they were good guests that are on the show, I couldn't hear the guests. So I just figured you decided okay, we had a really great run of shows, and it's time to quit and retire while we're on top. Especially because I saw some posts on Facebook about the top 3 horophilia shows were Bananalaser shows. So I figured, you were like, okay, well, we may as well, just pack it up. We're not ever gonna top Halloween, the Halloween retrospective, because all we have left is, Nightmare on Elm Street, and everybody knows that Nightmare on Elm Street fucking sucks. I mean, come on, what was the last Nightmare on Elm Street movie? Jackie O'Haley? No.
What's up, guys? It's Wizzel here, and this is a small little intro to the show coming up, our Unholy Trinity of Sequels. And we just, Dave and I, hey, Dave's here. Say hello, Dave.
I am here. It's true. Hello, everybody.
We're here. We just wanted to talk about a couple things before the episode proper kicks off. And first thing off the top is we just came off the super duper high of the Halloween retrospective. And wow, thank you guys. The response was phenomenal. For Dave and I, it was just such a blast to do, and to hear that you guys love those shows is just great. Thank you guys so much.
Yes, I couldn't say it better myself. It's fucking. It took me by surprise because it's when we did the Friday the 13th thing, which we're both fucking very passionate about, and it's our favorite series and everything else. That was something I was really looking forward to, and it was a great time and everything else, and people enjoyed that show also. But when Halloween came out, and it's funny because we didn't love on all the movies, and everything else, but the response was just fucking... The response we got for Halloween was what I thought was going to happen with Friday, but the Halloween show just kind of took everything to another level. Everyone seemed to love it, and we loved doing it, and we had people coming on, and everything's been blowing up since. The fucking Facebook pages, and we've been getting messages and fucking just everything. Everyone's just been so positive with the feedback, and it's it's made us, now it feels like we have to live up to something.
Yeah, I think that was our high point, and now we're gonna crash and burn with an old episode.
Yeah, that's why we're doing this. Is basically a disclaimer because it was something we recorded when we did the first one, the Unholy Trinity.
Yeah, we recorded this around the time of episode 4, I think.
Yeah,
3 and 4. So this is kind of an older episode. We just wanted to give you guys a heads up so it's not such a sticker shock that, the recording is slightly different. Maybe our cadence, our voices are a little off, so just be prepared for that. But we still think it's a fun episode.
Oh yeah, and I can't wait to hear it. I forget we recorded it so long.
It's been so long, yeah.
Right. I'm looking forward to hearing it for myself because I remember having such a good time doing it that hopefully that translates to you guys.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, thank you, honestly, because fucking like Matt said, it was the whole month of October. It was a high because it's October and it's our time of year. But this show just kicked it into high gear, and it was best October I've had in a long time, and it's because of you, Wizzel, and because of you guys listening. So thank you.
Yeah. Thanks to everyone. I also want to say again, I've said it a gajillion times, but thanks to all our guests, Gary Hill. Yeah. Dan Chase, Alex Edwards were phenomenal on those episodes. You guys are so much fun. And also a big thanks to Jason Lloyd at horophilia.com. Jason, you're a madman. We'd be nothing without Jason Lloyd over there. He does a great job of promoting us and updating the site. Speaking of updates, excuse me, we're now on Stitcher.
Yeah, we're blowing up.
Shit. Okay.
And Wizzel blowing up himself, poor bastard.
We're on Stitcher. We're on outlets that we don't even know about or what they're even called, but Jason's, getting us out there. It's a great thing. We're on Twitter now. Follow us there. It's at Bananalaser Show on Twitter. And you guys can always, join our Facebook group, like our Facebook page. You can send us an email, bananalaser@gmail.com. You can leave us a voicemail at 314-720-8842. You can follow our YouTube channel. All that shit is out there for any new listeners who aren't up to date on where all of our shit is. There you go. So,
yeah, and speaking of Jason Lloyd, he put that little quick thing on the Horophilia page where you just click a button and you can leave a 90-second voicemail.
Yeah, that's cool.
It's right there. Yeah.
I think we should just record the show like that from now on. Just voicemails.
Phone it in, literally.
Just minute and a half voicemails back and forth. Yeah, and speaking of emails and contacts and stuff like that, I actually got a message here from a friend of mine, and his name is Josh K. Says, "Hey, Wizzel, you fucking asshole." See, I love this guy.
Right
he gets my sense of humor. "Hey, Wizzel, you fucking asshole. How you been, bro? I've been off the radar past couple of months as I've been slammed with work, so I'm only just getting to Bananalaser. Just wanted to say, well fucking done, you goddamn bastard. It's a fantastic podcast, and I've been laughing my dick off catching up on the episodes. Speak soon, ass breath. Josh." Yeah.
Nice.
Wow, love that guy. Awesome.
Right on, motherfucker. Right
yeah,
on.
and Josh, as a little bonus here for just sending me that message, I'm gonna send you a Skeleton Crew T-shirt. Bam! How you like that?
Look at that, huh? Shit.
Yeah. So to anybody who doesn't know,
Wizard.
There's an ongoing T-shirt contest, if you will, or giveaway for Skeleton Crew shirts that I've made. All you got to do is email us at bananalaser@gmail.com or leave us a voicemail at 314-720-8842 telling me why you want a Skeleton Crew T-shirt, and I'll just give you one for free. So,
Look at that. Shit,
bam.
come on.
Josh K is getting one. Yeah, exactly. I mean, nobody. So, yeah, if you guys don't know Skeleton Crew, it's the #1 show on Horophilia.com, which is where you can find us, and it's definitely the better podcast. If you're not listening to them, you should, because they're awesome. We just had Dan Chase and Alex, guest star with us and stuff like that. So, yeah, I made some T-shirts for them, blah, blah, blah. Got too many, so I'm just giving them away. Literally, guys, we're not kidding. Just email me. I'll give you one. So there you go.
Yeah, no strings attached. This isn't a fucking, we're not going to send you, come in and say it's free, and then we're going to say, well, give us a credit card number and subscribe to something.
No, but
there's no tricks. There's no gimmicks.
Numbers are limited. I only have a small handful. It's only one size, large, and all decisions are final by us.
There's something else we had to talk about. Mm-hmm. Wasn't it kind of a big deal? I'm already forgetting, but...
our commentary question.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so, go ahead, Dave.
It's official now, shit, right? So, we had that battle. It was Jason, Friday the 13th, Part 6, Jason Lives, against Jason Goes to Hell, and we put it to vote, and in about 5... Yeah, pretty soon it's going to be a week since we put it up. So we're going to announce our winner, and it is... Jason Lives!
Yay! Not the one I voted for, but that's okay.
No. I didn't even vote. No, wait a minute. I think I did. To make it even, I think I voted for Jason Lives, just to cancel your vote out, so nobody could say anything if it ended up being like a one vote thing.
That makes sense.
Oh yeah. You don't want to, I don't want anyone to get angry or think we rigged it. So
yeah. So Jason Lives. Commentary episode. We'll do it. Yeah. It won't be the next episode, and we don't even really have a set date, but it will be sometime soon. We got a lot of stuff planned for the show. We got other retrospectives and other movies that we want to talk about, and shit like that. So
lots of shit. I just hope that the commentary You know, I just hope it's good. We're doing it because it was requested by a few people. So, you know, fuck it. If it sucks, don't blame us.
Yeah, you asked for it, you assholes. So.
Right. So we'll do our best. You know, we'll bring it. We'll watch the movie, and hopefully it's cool. Hopefully you guys like it. And if so, well, then maybe there'll be more on the horizon. But whatever. Fucking, we can't be identified. We can't be pigeonholed. We're going to do all kinds of different shit. That's the bottom line. Bananalaser. Damn it.
Yep. All kinds of different shit. So without any further ado, we'll let you guys go. Thanks for listening to us ramble. But here is the banked episode of our unholy Trinity of Sequels. Here you go, guys.
Sperm banked. Enjoy. Tonight's episode of Bananalaser is brought to you by Sundown Sacks. Are you a mongoloid? Do you have facial deformities? Or are you just plain ugly? If you answered yes to any of those questions, odds are you may just have murderous rampages as well. Once again, if the answer to that question is yes, this is what we're here for. Help us help you. We're Sundown Sacks. Murder is never easy to commit, but when you use a sack, it helps out a little bit. It makes you a more charismatic killer. Your chances of getting caught decrease. You don't want to use a potato sack. Let's face it, they smell of spuds. You don't want to use an onion sack. They make you cry, and let's face it, if you look the way you do, you've probably already done your share of crying. Some people think pillow sacks work. Pillow sacks, number one, they're played out. Number two, they slip. Some of them are transparent. It's just not something you want to do. This is where Sundown Sacks come in handy. We operate solely online, sundownsacks.com, and we have the 1-eye or 2-eye version, whatever it takes. We are 100% burlap. Satisfaction is guaranteed. We can even move one eye up an inch, down an inch, or whatever you need, you know, depending on your deformity, for a small fee per inch. So, once again, help us help you. Sundown Sacks, sundownsacks.com.
Sundown Sacks.
Bananalaser and Sundown Sacks are not responsible for any crimes you may commit after your purchase.
He said the sheriff is near. What's up, everyone? Welcome to Bananalaser. My name is Matt. Wizzel, if you are nasty. And next to me on the ones and twos, surrounded by wax, is Dave Z. What the hell is up, Dave Z?
As nasty as I want to be, bitches. What the fuck's going on?
That's right. We're back, and we're excited. You know, it's been a couple weeks. We're starting to hit our stride now. I think, don't you think, Dave?
Yeah, you know, I'm drinking a little bit less per show. My nerves are calm. You know.
That's funny. I'm drinking more per show. What the hell is happening here? Jesus.
That's okay too.
I just know that Jason's got his finger on the button. He's ready to cancel it. So I'm a little nervous.
Sons of bitches.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I can't get too relaxed. Fucking pass the Xanax, honey.
I tell you, actually, I tell you why I'm drinking. Is this goddamn Bananalaser line that we opened up? We keep getting these fucking weird phone calls, dude. I mean, we open it up for the listeners, and then these fucking wackos, these whack jobs keep. Oh fuck, dude.
Speak of the fucking devil. Are you serious, dude?
This is like clockwork. It almost seems scripted, dude. What the fuck?
Right? Good God.
Hey, well, oh God. I hope it's not. Let me get this.
Stop the fucking thing from ringing. Whatever.
Hello, you've reached Bananalaser.
Last roundup rolling grill. We're still number one.
Last roundup? Wait a minute. What is that? Another podcast?
I told you, boys, and I told you. Don't call on this phone now, damn it. Get off.
Asshole, we didn't call you. You called us. This is the Bananalaser podcast.
What's on the radio? Now don't bullshit me. I can't. I won't.
Radio? What the fuck? This is a fucking podcast. You're not gonna find us on your FM dial, old man.
All right, what station?
He said not on a radio station. What is your fucking problem?
This ain't no joke, boy.
You're the only joke around here, jackass.
Ah, you cool shit. Ah, you mudsucker, you'll be the death of me yet.
Did he call us corn shits and fudge packers? You're right, cocksucker. We will be on the death of you if you ever call here again.
Motherfucker.
God damn it, what the fuck? Dude, we might have to fucking unhook this thing. I mean, that's about the most I can take. You know, after these, ever since, you know, we set up a few weeks ago, and we get these fucking wackos. Like, who the hell was that guy? What the hell is he talking about?
I don't know. I'm ready to, let's just fucking, maybe we should just tell the listeners when we're recording at this point. At least maybe they'll chime in instead of these fucking bozos.
I don't even know. I mean, last roundup, Rolling Grill. What is he? Is he trying to get some advertisements in? What the?
Right.
Who are you, asshole? Jesus
a rolling
Christ.
Grill? Is that?
I don't know. Is that like the thing in the gas station where it's got the hot dogs on it? I don't fucking know. Jesus, I mean, he's trying to sell us some fucking gas station hot dogs, I guess. Hey, you know what? I can kind of go for one of those. Maybe you should star 69 that asshole. Fuck.
Yeah, fuck. I could go for some barbecue, maybe. Shit.
Anyways, so we're here. We're in the studio, and we got a great show coming up. We've got another Unholy Trinity, and this time around, it's going to be sequels.
Dissipating at least 10 minutes faster now. I'm gonna need stronger doses more frequently.
Nevertheless, humans are more sexual than animals. You know it.
That's all you think about. Let me give you all the sex you want. Oh, please.
Alright guys, we are back. Bananalaser, Unholy Trinity. We're here again, back in the Bananalaser studio. This time we got sequels. Love them or hate them, you know, some bad, some good. We got them. And Dave and I sat down. We worked long and hard, especially hard, on our list.
What she said, baby.
Yeah, that's right. We picked our three favorites horror sequels. And let's get into them. But first, I want to talk about this because, you know, horror sequels, to me, I mean, previously we did the remakes. And for me, that list was a lot harder to compile. Going into the sequel list, to me, that's just way easier. I mean, there's, you know, I had it down to like 2 seconds, you know, and then, but then I started looking at the list and I was like, well, I mean, Dave, he'll probably just pick these same ones, and then it's like us just sucking these movies dicks, you know, or whatever. So I scrapped that entire list and I said, okay, I'm not picking those, and I picked an entirely different list. Yeah, I don't know if you had the same experience, but
I thought about it.
Yeah.
But in a way I was excited about the show,
right?
Because we're actually going to have a show where it's going to be nice and easy. And we're just going to be gushing about the fucking movies we love, which we really haven't done beginning to end on a show. It's a different...
not really, yeah.
So, you know, I was kind of excited that it was actually going to be very easy to sit and talk about. It's so easy to sit and talk about things you love.
I
mean,
and
who doesn't like to do that?
Absolutely, and this will kind of give us, you know, listeners an insight as to, you know, our top movies. When you go into sequels, you know, you're already going to be you love those franchises kind of thing, and that's kind of you'll get an idea of where we're coming from and the kind of shit that we like. So I'm going to go over my rejected list real quick. I'm just going to run down them. I'm going to start at the bottom and go to the top. Number 3, George Romero's Dawn of the Dead. Picked that one. That figured that was easy, but at the same time, that one is like, is it a sequel? It's in the same world, I guess. You know, those first 3 movies that he did are kind of, it's like, well, they're sequels, but they're not sequels, and and stuff like that. So,
Right.
but I mean, I already know you love Dawn of the Dead, and that may even be on your list. I don't know. But my second one was Evil Dead 2. Hands down, great movie. You probably agree. Do you agree?
Oh, it's fun.
Evil Dead 2.
I don't like it nearly as much as I like 1.
Yeah.
But
No,
it's definitely a worthy sequel.
I love 1
Yes.
immensely, and I find it way better than part 2.
Yes.
But at the same time, I still love part 2. They're all different.
Yeah, sure. I'm a fan of 2. I can't say I'm not.
Yep. And then my number 1, clearly, I'm a huge Friday the 13th fan. It's my number 1 franchise. Can't get enough of it. My number 1 horror sequel is Friday 2. Love it. Can't get enough of it.
Oh fuck! Of course.
So that was my list I picked, and I'm like, fuck. I think those are too easy. In fact, that might even be your list. I mean, obviously, probably Evil Dead 2 isn't on there, and so I was like, okay, I'm scrapping that. I want to get a little different. I want to pick 3 different ones. So that's my scrapped list. And then let's get into my real list of sequels. Number 3 of Matt's Wizzel's Holy Trinity of sequels is the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Get that bitch, Leatherface! Get that bitch! Dog will hunt.
I am a fan. I'm surprised that it makes your 3, but I guess it's after what you've scrapped, I could understand why you're going, this route. I am a fan. For a sequel, it's good. It's very nostalgic for me personally.
Yeah.
I saw 2 before I saw 1.
Oh, really? Huh. No, see, I didn't. And a lot of people dismiss this as a good sequel because everything about it is absolutely different from the first one. But, as we said with the remake episode, we're making these lists not based on, the differences between, not based on the original. So if you take Texas Chainsaw Massacre as a standalone movie, is it a good, sequel? And absolutely. The movie is fun to me. It's tonally totally different, but it's a fun movie. It's got a lot of great shit in it. I mean, Bill Moseley, come on.
Oh, dude. Fucking fantastic.
He's probably definitely the best part of the movie. That whole interaction with him and Stretch in the radio station, that still scares me. I think that shit is fucking scary.
I agree.
He is frightening as fuck. He's just so weird and creepy, and he's gonna do something. He's so menacing. She's like, okay, so we're closing now. Good night. And he's just like, good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Dude. And when that whole back and forth, and when Leatherface fucking comes out of the closet or wherever he's hiding with the chainsaw, dude, one of the fucking best jump scares ever, in my opinion, in any horror movie. I fucking love that. That
sequence is incredible.
I even love that they took the family out of the house and put him in some weird amusement park underground, thing. I loved all that.
Fucking Nomland.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah, Nomland.
Awesome.
I love that. I mean, this movie is just fun to me. The first movie, try not to compare, but the first movie is intense and it's just gritty and it's dirty, and this movie is just tonally different, and I love it for that. It's just all bright. It's funny, it's just way more comedic and stuff that. And that's what Dennis Hopper chainsaw fight. Come on, I've talked about chainsaw fights on a previous episode.
Right.
You just, dude, you win my heart when you chainsaw fight in a movie. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Oh, it's great, isn't it?
Absolutely.
It's a great scene. Yeah, the beginning is a great scene.
Absolutely.
The way it starts off, don't you think? And the whole situation with Stretch and the phone, and the only real gore you get. It's the only time Tom Savini's fucking name is in the credits, but you don't really get to see the master at work so much in this movie because it got chopped. But
Right.
that one scene in the beginning when
Where he
they're going,
saws
kids,
the head off, yeah.
and he saws his head. Just that whole sequence, whether it be far-fetched or not, that's another show. But
Right.
it's a fun movie, and I don't even know if I'm going to say it's a funny movie. Like, to me, Evil Dead 2, there's funny moments
Right.
in it. There's genuine comedy to it, where this humor is more dark humor. And,
yeah, absolutely.
you know, because of my sense of humor and the people that I grew up watching it with, it's a fun movie to get together and watch. Even though it has dark tones and everything else, but that whole scene in the beginning, how fucking big is that? Is Leatherface's chainsaw? It's like 20 feet long,
Yeah.
isn't it?
It's the
And
fucking chainsaw in Hatchet 3. I mean, or Hatchet 2. You know, that
isn't
fucking
it?
thing, yeah.
It's crazy. And he brings up that fucking Nubbins thing. And like, what the fuck? He's got that corpse there. The kid shoots at him in the car.
You know what that was?
Oh.
Nubbins was the hitchhiker from the first one.
Are you serious?
Yeah. They kept his body when he got run over by the truck. They kept his body, and see this little bit of continuity I like. I didn't know about it until I had read about it or heard it on the commentary or something. But he was the hitchhiker. They kept his body, and that was him. And then Bill Moseley plays his brother. And the reason he's not in the first one is because he was off in Vietnam, and that's why he's got the plate in his head.
Makes sense.
Yeah, it was a war injury, and they put a plate in his head, and that's probably
What the fuck?
Yeah,
Really?
and that's kind of why he's dressed up like a hippie, you know?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
it's that whole thing, but yeah.
He went to Nam, but he's a hippie,
Well,
which is kind of
yeah.
weird. Which side of the fence is he on? You don't know, but he's fucked up in the head. So.
Either way, yeah, he's
Whatever. He enjoyed killing. He's like Madman, or not Madman. He's like Uncle Sam. He just went there because he likes to kill. Right? We'll bring back Uncle Sam.
Call
on
back.
the show. Right. But I'll tell you what. I listened to the Skeleton Crew, and I
Never
have to
heard of them.
Agree. No, yeah, it's just this obscure show. They're not really that good.
Sounds terrible.
The lead guy on it, his name is Alex, and he said something that I 100% agreed on. I honestly thought the first time I saw it, it was the first one I saw. Then I went back and I saw part one, and that's another story. But when I saw part one and then connected it to two, I honestly thought that Bill Moseley was supposed to be the hitchhiker,
Yeah.
and the reason he had the fucking plate in his head was because he got ran over by the truck. Because they kind of do look a little bit alike,
Yep,
and
exactly.
they don't act that much different than each other.
And they
so
don't-
I just thought
they
it was
don't-
the same brother.
They don't flat out explain it either.
No, they don't explain it.
No, they don't. And the
So
only
are you telling me that wherever you got that information from, that Nubbins is really the hitchhiker? That just kind of blows my mind because
Yeah, it was from a commentary or article or something, but that's
Wow.
what Toby Hooper. Yeah, that was the idea behind it. Absolutely.
that's wild,
Mm-hmm.
and it's great. And like I said, it's a fun movie. For me, it's extremely nostalgic because it
Yeah.
was when I first started renting movies, and we have a grocery store out here called Tops, just a local place for Western New York. Everybody has little places in their area. And back in the videotape craze, when they first started renting videotapes and VCRs were big and all that, everybody was renting videotapes. I don't know if it was the same with you, but I mean,
Oh,
you could go to-
absolutely.
okay, drugstores, grocery
Yeah,
stores.
everybody
Okay.
had video outlets. Yeah.
Right. Well,
was
one
huge.
day, it was huge, and everybody was doing it. So I went to the grocery store with my mother on a Saturday morning, like always. And this was at the time that I was really starting to get into horror. I was 12, 13. And I saw this little thing, and it wasn't even the movie itself. It was like a flap. It was a bunch of movies. It's hard to explain it without actually seeing what it is, but whatever. It was a thing, and it was an advertisement, and you turn it over, and it was movie after movie. And it was like this little plastic piece with a picture of the title of the movie on it, the cover of the VHS tape, if you will. That's what it was. And it said, after 20-something years of silence or whatever, the buzz is back.
Yeah, great.
Yes, and it was that original cover. You know what I'm talking about? Not the shit one with Dennis Hopper that you see now. It's the one with all the family. They were mocking the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, like come
and
on.
I didn't even know it. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, I
That
didn't
just
know it at the
screams
time.
comedy right there. It's
Right.
like what?
But I didn't even know it at the time that they were doing a Breakfast Club thing.
Yeah.
And they were there, and I was like, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. And of course, I've heard of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre by this time, but I
Sure.
had never seen it for some reason. So I rented that movie, and my friends and I loved it. And there's like 3 or 4 or 5 of us, and we were quoting it. We were going to junior high school. And all the time, and me doing all the voices that I do, I was always fucking saying, "You killed Grandma, you hog, bitch." And that was like the big fucking phrase in school. You hog, bitch. You killed Grandma. We just everything that we didn't even know his name was Chop Top. We just called him Skinhead. It was just the name we gave him. We didn't look at the credits, so we talked about Skinhead. Blah blah blah. He was fucking great, and we were quoting lines from this movie for the longest time. Then eventually we rented part 1, and it was just like, holy fuck, this movie is incredible, because going from 2 to 1.
Okay, see, I wondered if you would think that. I think it could go either way. If you saw 2 first and then saw 1, you might think 1 is not good. Just because it blew
me away.
Right. Oh, I'm glad it should. But if you're expecting the same tone and stuff like that, it's because it's so vastly different. It has the exact same characters, actors, and everything almost, but the tone is just whack job different. And to me, that's cool. It's the same with like Evil Dead 1 and 2. Tonally, fucking just left turn completely. But it's the same universe and everything. I love that. You know what?
While we're on that subject, I saw Evil Dead 2 first before I saw Evil Dead. Same fucking
really,
thing.
Huh?
Yeah,
That's
Evil
crazy.
Dead 2. It was a new release. It was a new release on a new release horror wall. You know how they have it.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out, okay, Evil Dead 2, look at this. And we rented it. And, whatever, it was great. We loved it. Then, after that, we go, let's rent this one here, Evil Dead. Then we watched Evil Dead, and I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
It floored me. Same exact situation from 2-2 to 1-1. That part 2 was funny or fun or whatever you want to call it, and had its shit and had its gore and whatever. And different movie in tone.
I find
then you
that
go back to 1, you're like, holy shit! Now this is that blew me away even more, because you see the route they take in the second one. You go back and you're like, this is fucking horror. This is badass. Then that was it for me. I was fucking blown away by the originals.
I actually find it harder to believe that if you saw Evil Dead 2 first and then went to 1, that you would even like 1, just because the budget. I mean, the look of it, and I love it. It's the camera work and everything is masterful and all that shit. But the fucking, I mean, just like the shit, like the haircuts changing and all that stuff, and the budget, the making fake rooms and stuff like that is being filmed over 5 years or whatever. It definitely shows. And so it seems like, I find it harder to believe that after watching Evil Dead 2 first that you would like Evil Dead 1 better. But that's great, because I like Evil Dead 1 better.
I don't understand how anybody doesn't.
It's actually that movie. It's actually scary to me. I mean,
yes,
Evil Dead 2 has like maybe 2 scary parts, and they're really not even that scary. But Evil Dead 1 is just, it feels just more real. I guess because it's not wacky and shit like that. So maybe that's it.
That's great. And those movies, that whole situation, it's all very nostalgic for me. The whole Evil Dead Texas Chainsaw thing, going back, and I loved horror, and we were watching a lot of straight horror movies at the time. And then these movies were fun, but they weren't, like Reanimator is a fun movie along the same line as Evil Dead 2. I fucking love it, great. But then when you go back and you see the original, and it's horrific, and there's a little comedy, you're like, okay, this is a fucking horror movie, because that came up on Friday the movie that introduced me to the whole genre. Is Friday the 13th 3. Just the last 20 minutes, mind you. And that's another story I'll tell some other time. But I basically overnight became a horror fan upon my first taste of that. And so the first shit I was watching was basically the slashers, which were straight horror. Then you see this other shit, and it was, Evil Dead 2. And isn't that fucked up? Same thing happened with me with, I saw Friday the 13th 3 first. I saw Nightmare on Elm Street 2 first, Evil Dead 2 first, and Texas Chainsaw 2 first, before I saw the originals.
Yeah, I'm sure I did that too. But whenever you're, when you're young, like today, you wouldn't want to do that. But when you're young, it just doesn't matter. You piece it together just fine, and then you go back and watch the original. You don't care. When you're a kid, you don't give a shit about continuity or anything like that. You just want to watch cool shit. So,
But then you're excited. You see, like, there's other ones of these. Let's see what they're about.
Yeah,
and then you go back, and they're better.
Yeah.
And they almost always are.
Yep.
You're like, holy fuck, this is great. And that's just what happened to me. I'm a pure horror fan. I like a little bit of comedy mixed in with my horror, but I'm not, really big into it the way some
Right.
people.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, I mean, that's so yeah, that's my number 3 pick, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. What about you, Dave? What you got for sequels?
All right. Well, see, I didn't scrap anything. I just went with automatically what was off the top of my head because I have a list of 25, and I honestly
You made a list of 25?
I made a list of 25. No, just in general of my favorite horror movies.
So you actually have a list that you have written down, or?
I have a list on the computer. I made another one the other day at work, and
see, I can't rank. I mean, I can't. I'll say
they come to mind.
I'll
They're
say
so good.
something. Yeah, is in my top. But I can't ever just sit there and rank them like yes, this one is number 2. That I can't do that.
I've had a running top 5/6 for years now because Friday the 13th Part 1 and 2, to me, they're not the same movie by any means, but I put them in that list. I have a list of top 5, but it's really 6 because 1 and 2, I have a 1/2. That's one of them. But anyway, I have a list and it starts off with them and whatever else, and it goes about 20, and I try to cut it off at 25. I made a list on the computer about 6-7 years ago, and I wrote another one today, or a few days ago at work. I was thinking of movies that I would rate 5 stars and how many they were. And the reason I made it a 5-star list is because I wanted to know if this next movie was a 5-star movie.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
We're not getting into ratings on this show, and I
Right.
understand that because it's a different type of show. But this movie here just squeaked outside of that. So if I had to rate,
so it's
it
a
would be a
squeakle.
4.5. It would be a 4.5. It wouldn't be a 5 as other ones that are better.
You would say it's a squeakle.
Yeah. Yes, it's a squeakle, like an Alvin and the Chipmunks. Yes.
Excellent.
So this squeakle here, it's always sat well with me. I think it's a great movie and a fun movie, and it's a little dated now, and that's the only reason it's a 4.5 is because things that go on in it are a little cheesy now. But I enjoy the hell out of it, and that movie is Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
If I were to pick any sequel out of that franchise, it would be that one, absolutely. But I'm just not that big of a fan of the Nightmare series. I'm just not.
Nor am I. You have one, which I think one is one of those movies that's in my list.
Yeah.
Okay, it's in my top 25, and I think it's great, wonderful, fucking fantastic idea. Scary as fuck. You can't go to sleep; the guy's gonna kill you.
Absolutely.
That alone, but it's a well executed movie. 2, whatever. It's good. It's dark. It's not on the par of this. After this, now I did that show with what do you call it? If you want to hear how bad I fucking hate Part 4, or that other show that I did, I don't know if you listened, but that other show I did with Gary Hill on Cinema Beef, where I just tore it apart. And the reason I think I have such a vendetta against it, and I think I brought it up on that show, because I loved Part 3 so much, and everything came together so perfectly that they just completely fucking...
Well, they shit all over it immediately at the beginning of that Part 4.
Right, and like I said, they ran it into the ground. They had an idea with 3, and they ran with it, and they didn't overkill it. But Part 4, everything that was good about 3, they completely fucking ran it into the ground, turned Freddy into a one-trick pony, and fucked up the whole series. And the rest of them are shit. New Nightmare, exclusion. I enjoy New Nightmare. It's not top of the line. It's not wonderful, but I will watch it. But I will not watch 4, 5, and 6 unless I'm watching it for fucking comedy.
Right. See, I have a special place in my heart as far as sequels on this franchise goes for Freddy's Dead.
I knew you were going to say 6. I knew you were going to say
because
Freddy's
it's
Dead.
so
because of the background shit.
It's so it's ridiculous. I mean, and the part, it's got a 3D part in at the end, and I as a kid went to the theater and saw it in 3D, and that drew me in, and just there's just ridiculous moments. The the 3 kills or whatever it has in it are just they're ridiculous, but they're actually fun, or whatever.
Nintendo thing.
That's fucking stupid as shit.
Yeah, now you're playing with power.
But let's talk about Part 3 though. I mean,
yes.
Part 3 was you're right. Part 3 is brilliant because it took everything that was right with Part 1 and then expanded on that. It had like a small group of kids, you know, but it had them in one, you know, in the hospital all together, and it had great characters out of that, and then it brought the Heather Langenkamp back into the fold, and to have her come back,
yes, and her father, the whole nine,
to
and
have
her mother, not her mother, but Freddie's mother, that whole fucking boy, it was perfect. I mean, it was great.
You know, and Freddie was still, I mean,
scary.
Still a mystery, and still scary by then, and. Yeah, he had jokes and maybe just like one line.
He had a couple, but honestly, they were just a quick line,
and they made
sense.
And
they were funny,
and that
and they made sense for the situation.
Yes.
And he said more than just that. And the things he was doing was so cool. The effects were just fucking top notch. The kid in the beginning with the marionette, and they're walking him right off the bat. The first kid that gets whacked when he's walking him, and the other kid can't see, and he's walking like a marionette with his hands upward and his wrist slit towards the thing, and then Freddy's on top of the building, and he cuts him with his freaking, you know, his razor, and it looks like he jumped off the thing. It looks like a suicide, and the way it was one of those situations like where part one, where they're fighting against the parent. The parents don't believe, you know, and the people in the hospital don't believe, but everyone inside knows that it's Freddy. And nobody wants to believe them, and they're to the point now where they're afraid to say it because they've been shot down so many times. But everything Freddy does in that movie, you know, he says a couple lines, but they were funny. They weren't corny. I mean, I didn't like, "What's the matter, Joey? Feeling tongue-tied?"
Oh, I forgot about that. See,
that was funny. I didn't mind that, and that was it. And then he did, you know, "Welcome to prime time, bitch," and put her on the screen. Come on, that was badass.
Yeah,
when he first said that at the movies, the first time you see that, if you just saw 1, 2, and then 3, and you saw that, you were fucking applauding. You were like, "That was fucking great."
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's the way you felt, you know. Then he became a one-trick pony, but at this point, he wasn't that way. It was right in the middle. He had a little bit of comedy, talked a little bit more, and it was a little tongue-in-cheek, but it wasn't over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, some people might say it's the beginning of the end, but it's really not. If they just would have left it at that, they chose to change the subject of the series. But anyway, I don't want to shit on the series too much because I want to gush on 3. It's a great movie. You know, I want to fucking shoot my fucking Bananalaser. All over 3's ass. You know?
He's an ass man. We've said it before.
Yes,
right. So,
ass man.
Well, I'm glad you sang that because one of the, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of that movie even or that franchise, but one of the best things about it is the song. I think was it by Dokken?
Dokken.
Yeah. Dream warrior, don't wanna dream no more. I mean, just like fucking that is some 80s cheese metal at its best. But it's catchy, and you know, I like it for the cheesiness factor, I guess, at this point. So
in that movie, there is cheese in that movie, but you know what? It's not overdone. It's fucking.
It's the right balance of it. It's perfect.
Yes, exactly. It's good. It's good fucking tangy pizza cheese. You know, it's fucking good ass cheese, man. You like it. It isn't fucking overdone. It isn't freaking the shit that you get with the breadsticks or the cheese whiz. It's fucking good ass cheese. It's not overdone. It's good. Watch part 3. It's a fucking great. Really, the concept was brilliant.
I'm gonna send that quote to New Line Cinema. They could put on the next re-release of part 3. It's good ass cheese. Bananalaser podcasts.
Nice. Yeah, we're in quotes. 4.5.
It's good ass cheese. This is not food, sir. Oh, brother.
But it is. Everything about this movie, it's very enjoyable. It's brilliant. The ideas they had about her pulling them in was cool, and them having the power and the background, and you relate to all the characters. Each and every one of the characters in this movie, you can relate to. They all had aspirations. They all had their own personalities. And there's only one movie that's been remotely like that, and it's called Boogeyman 2. And it's kind of a knockoff of this.
Really?
It wasn't done as good. Yes, watch it. It's an We should do a complete show about fucking underrated movies that no one ever heard of, and that would be on my list. But yeah, Boogeyman 2 has nothing to do with Boogeyman 1, that shitball movie that came out. And
Wasn't that a Ghost House production, the Sam Raimi Ghost House?
Okay, the first one was. I don't know if the second one was, but this movie, it's I just think that the concept of it is brilliant, and how they were going to put Freddy to rest and everything, and his mother Amanda coming back, the bastard son of 100 maniacs, and the whole fucking thing.
This wasn't the one with the dog pissing fire, was it? Was that
That's how 4 started out.
Okay.
They didn't shit. They pissed all over the fucking series with that movie. Isn't that horrible? Yeah, they had to kill off the last 3 survivors in part 3.
Yeah, see, they did that within like 5 minutes, and didn't they? At the beginning of part 4? Yeah.
Like when the first 15, and they all happened to go to the same high school together, even though they met in a fucking insane asylum.
Yeah.
They all just happen to be the same age in this next movie and go to high school together. Anyway, listen to that fucking Cinema Beef show, and you'll see. I fucking shit on that movie for about 45 minutes.
Right.
But this movie, I'm gushing over it, fucking cheese and all, Bananalaser, squirting on fucking asses. I love it.
All right. Okay, so with that, let's move on to number 2 on the list, and I will start. We'd actually talked about this series briefly in the remake episode of the Unholy Trinity, and my pick for number 2 is Wreck 2. I think it's comparatively better than the first movie. I think it's fucking intense as shit, and it's made better. The story is bigger and grander. It picks up probably, I don't know if it's right after the first one. It picks up maybe
it does,
or 30 minutes or something. But it took, anytime a franchise does that, like Friday 3 and 4 does that well. Anytime you fucking pick up right where the last one left off, dude, I am on board. I love that shit. But this one, it has the exact same setting, and I thought that was going to be bad, but it has the exact same setting, and they just fucking amp it up crazy. They bring in the police, and so there's more firepower, there's more action. I love how the story is told. It's basically told in 2 parts. It starts out with does it start out with the military or start out with the kids? I can't remember, but it tells
the military. I remember they were right in the truck.
Okay, that's right. That's right. Starts out with them, and it's fucking badass as shit. And then halfway through, it rewinds, and then it tells you from a different perspective, and then they meet at the end, and that shit. That was just brilliant storytelling at first. And I was worried when that first happened, when it cuts and you're like, holy shit, is this okay? So they're starting at the beginning again. I don't know if I'm on board with this, but then it kept going and going. And I'm like, yes, this is great. I can't believe, before the movie even ended, I said I like this much better than the first one, and I love the first one. So that's my pick for 2. What do you think? Have you seen it?
Wow.
You've seen this, right?
I've seen it one time.
Yeah.
I believe I own it on DVD somewhere. I've seen the first one probably 5 times. I love it.
Yeah.
And I've seen 2 once, and I liked it. And I don't have a bad thing to say about it. One thing was different. I remember that they kind of went a different route with the cause of it, because the first one made sense where it was a spread disease, and the dog and the girl. Was it a girl in the first one? And then it spread in the whole apartment, and yada yada yada. But this one, they were possessed now.
Well, it actually it talks about the religion aspect in the first one. It's just lightly touched on, and and so much so that, and it's just expanded on more in part 2. Like in the first one, they talk about it when she's up in that room and she's going through all the stuff, and she sees all these papers about the Vatican and all this stuff. It's there, but they just don't really explain it a whole lot. And then the second one, they really explain on it a lot more. And usually I don't like that, but I just love that idea of it so much that it's a religious thing and not just a viral thing. I think
that's cool.
That is brilliant for the series,
Yeah.
and for Quarantine to remove that was a mistake.
Oh yeah, did you see Quarantine too? I was going to ask you at the other show we did, and I never brought that up.
Quarantine, the 2?
Yeah.
I did, and it's.
I never got to watching it.
It's totally different. It takes
it's a plane, right?
Well, it takes
terminal?
place in a terminal mostly.
Right.
A plane lands, and it's not like it's not handheld documentary style at all. It's like a movie.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's no and Quarantine didn't have the religious thing in it at all.
No,
either.
no, not at all.
And so it's not in this. I mean, it's a fun movie. It's nothing like this though. Nothing at all.
Right. No, I know that. I know it's not even related to Rec 2 whatsoever. I was just curious as if you saw. I was going to ask you when we did the other show whether or not you saw, and I forgot to.
Yeah, I dig it, but I mean, getting back to Rec, I mean, I can't say enough. I fucking love it. Like, I want to go watch it right now.
I gotta watch it again because I watched it once and I loved it. I remember seeing it and saying, "Oh yeah, I'm impressed by it. I gotta watch it again."
Yep.
But I can only watch it with my one friend that I watch them with. I can't show it to my wife because she hasn't seen the first one or Quarantine, so I can't just plug it in one night. I just haven't had the time to get around to it again.
Right.
But
I mean,
liked it.
When the SWAT team, the SWAT team shit is so good, dude. It's so fucking intense. And by the time it gets to a point where one of the guys kills himself because he can't take it, it's like, wow, it's so intense, dude.
That's cool.
It's fucking pulse pounding, man. It's crazy. I fucking love it. I'm getting excited just talking about it.
Wow, I can't wait to watch it again. What I retain the most from it is that the girl from part 1, that cute little freaking number.
Yeah.
And what happens with her and her, how she comes back into.
I was shocked. I did not expect that, and I thought, and that's where I got like back on board, because when the kids come in, I'm like, all right, what's happening here? It's not the same. But then she comes in at the end, and I'm like, yes, dude, this fucking movie it knows what it's doing, man. I think it was the same director and team and all that too, right?
I'm pretty sure it's all the same people.
Yeah.
Yes. Part 3, I do not believe it was, and Part 3 is another story, and I watched it a few weeks ago. And
yeah.
Yeah. Not like 1 and 2. I guess we'll leave it at that.
Right.
Not terrible, but whatever.
Right.
So, but I gotta watch it again. But wow, you really took me by surprise with that pick. I'm glad you put that on there.
See, and that's why I rejected my first list, because like, okay, those are kind of gimmies, not everybody, but you would Dawn of the Dead, Evil Dead 2, Friday 2, those are fucking gimmies for horror sequels, in my opinion. But my real list, or my second list, I guess you could say, the kind of not everybody's pick, I guess, and that's why I wanted to scrap my first list and go with the second one.
That's good. See, well, I didn't scrap. I'm just going with what I had. But I'm glad you did, because we might have had the same picks.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you would. I don't think you're picking Nightmare 3. Of course not.
No, absolutely not.
That's fine. Right. I didn't think you were picking that, and I teetered on a couple other ones. I thought, well, I'll talk about them at the end, but there was a couple others that I teetered on. But honestly, it was just like boom, boom, boom. These are the 3. This is my list. One of them came close. I shouldn't even say a couple. One of them almost made it and didn't. But
we can get to those later.
But Rec 2, quality pick. Once again, just like the last time we did the show, it makes you want to go out and.
Right.
I got to watch that movie. I still haven't watched those movies.
So all right.
I got to do it. But back to that. Now, the Dawn of the Dead situation and the Day of the Dead.
Yep.
We didn't discuss it, and you touched upon it at the beginning of the film. Is it a sequel? Is it not a sequel? I ruled them not sequels.
Right. Yeah. See, I was teetering on that too. It's like
they're standalone films about the same thing.
Exactly.
But they're not really sequels, because when you watch Dawn.
Yeah.
It's not picking up at the same time when Night left off.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah.
And Day has its own realm.
Right. Exactly.
Anytime, really. Well, not any time, but still, I don't consider them sequels. I do consider it a trilogy.
Yep. Yeah. See, that's what it's weird. It's cool. It's its own thing. It's not really sequels. It's just exists in the same world, kind of stuff. Yeah.
And they could 2 and 3 could have taken 2 and 3. There I go. Dawn and Day could have taken place at the same time.
Right. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
I don't really consider them sequels, and we didn't touch upon it prior to coming into the show. because we wanted to do our show and that's surprise each other and have fun with it and everything else. So I didn't put Dawn or Day on there.
Okay, well,
I may have. They would have come close, but I honestly, because I don't have a throwaway list, the next two I could not throw away whatsoever because I have a list of a 10 and they're both on it, and there's just no way I could just throw them out. So
so what's your number 2?
So my number 2, hold
on. Gulp.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Yes, gulp. My number 2 is Friday the 13th, the final chapter.
Ah, okay.
And the final chapter is what it is, and I got to tell you, son, I mentioned earlier that I fell in love with Part 3. That Part 3 was my introduction to the series.
Yep, I really like Part 3 too.
Well, I woke up one night, I fell asleep. My brother and his girlfriend at the time, my older brother and his girlfriend, were at the house babysitting me. My parents were out for the night somewhere, and I had fallen. At that age, I didn't like to go upstairs. If I can get away from sleeping upstairs, if there's people in the house staying awake, I'm going to sleep downstairs in the living room. So I did. So I passed out. They passed out. Now, the funny thing is I remember them watching Part 3 earlier in the night, but at the time I was doing my own thing. I was playing with my wrestling figures or whatever the fuck I was doing at that age. And I try not to pay attention to it. I didn't think much about it. And then they fell asleep on the couch and I fell asleep. And I remember back in the old days, they probably still do it, but they would show a movie at like 8 or 9 o'clock on a Friday, and then they would replay that same movie again at like 2 in the morning. And it was on, and I fell asleep, and I had popped up. And all I saw was the last 20 minutes, the entire chase scene of Part 3.
Nice.
And I was glued to the screen. I was scared. It was scary. I was like, what the fuck? She hung him. He came back. I was like, oh my God. That whole thing, and then the window, the dream sequence, the mother coming out at the end, that whole thing, that was my introduction to horror. It blew me away. I was scared.
That's a good one.
Yes, I'll never ever forget it. And I went to bed eventually, but I was scared. And I woke up the next day, still thinking about it, but being attracted to it and saying, wow, what the fuck did I watch last night? I found out it's a movie called Friday the 13th Part 3. Now, that was my birth. That was my birth into my love of the genre began that night. I rented Part 1, Part 2, started renting all kinds of horror movies, and that was the beginning of the end for me. And that's Now, Part 4 was coming out, the final chapter, and it was advertised shortly after this. And boy, was I pumped. I could not fucking wait. I'm going to go to the movie. Now, I don't even know how my father might have been with me. I know I was with a friend or two, but this is 1984. I'm 12 years old. I don't know how I got into the movie.
Oh, I had no problem getting to rated R movies as a kid. It was never an issue.
He may or may not have been there. My father has sat through Part 5 with me. I've seen every single Friday the 13th movie opening night since this one.
Really?
Every fucking one. Never missed.
Holy shit, dude. That's awesome.
Never missed them. Starting with the final chapter. Now, going into the final chapter, you truly think, hey, this is the final chapter. This is the fucking be-all, end-all.
Right.
It's Jason character's coming to an end. And I was 100% wrapped up in it. Because like I said, I went back, I rented 1 and 2 and 3 again, and loved it. Just fucking couldn't wait for this movie to come out. Went to the movies, and oh, man, what a time we had. What an experience. Everything about the movie. I don't have to sell this movie to you.
Right.
Most of it. It's just fucking tremendous. It's always going to hold a special place in my heart. I saw it at the movies opening night. The crowd was cheering every kill. Just filled with excitement. Just one of those memories you're always going to have.
Yeah, that's good.
And yeah, it was great. And there's nothing bad you could say about it. The plot was great. The music was great. The characters you can get into. The fucking special effects were good. They bring Savini back for this movie. The whole thing, to me, it's just tremendous. I love the series, and fucking, I wish it would have been the final chapter. This series would have been even highly regarded than it is now. But
I don't know. I mean, there's.
You don't think so? You think that if they just had 1, 2, 3, and 4 and stopped, you think anybody would have any question as to what the best horror series is? I can't see it.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, I guess you get it right. I've never thought about it like that. Never thought. But here, let's talk about this. I mean, obviously, we both love this movie. We both are probably our favorite franchises. Let's talk about some things that maybe we don't like on Friday 4. Mine is, and I never thought about it at the time, but it's like, and well, I guess it happens from 2 to 3 also, but it's like, why is he an unstoppable killer? I mean, it's just kind of ridiculous, and we just take it. We just be like, yeah, okay, of course he's going to get up when he's in the morgue and then kill that guy with the fucking bone saw. But why? Why on earth would that ever happen? But whenever you watch it, you just accept it. It's like, yeah, of course he's going to get up. He was dead. He got an axe to the, or a machete to the head or whatever, and he died. But he's going to come back. Why? I don't understand.
I'll tell you.
Why do we accept that?
I accept it in parts 1 through 4 to me are slightly unbelievable, but not outlandish.
Dude, when fucking in part 2, when what's her name takes that fucking machete to his shoulder, it goes in like fucking 7 inches, dude. You're gonna bleed to death like a motherfucker. There's no way you're gonna survive that. No way.
That scene was too dark. You can't really see how deep that machete.
No, dude, go back, man. Go back and watch that.
You know how many times I've watched fucking part 2?
Dude, it goes so deep into his shoulder. It's ridiculous. There's no way you're gonna survive that. You're gonna bleed out. Come on. I don't know.
I guess just the way it was chopped in. It was just a downward motion, and that usually is not enough to kill him. Even the killers don't kill the victims that way in horror movies.
True.
Just a fucking chop in the shoulder. It's like a chair shot in wrestling.
Okay, let's say
it doesn't sell anymore.
Okay, it doesn't kill him. Okay, I'll give you that. It doesn't kill him, but how on earth is he just going to be, parts 2, 3, and 4, they're all a day apart. How is he just going to come right back from that shit? How?
I don't mind it. I didn't mind it that night.
I don't mind it either. I never did.
Well,
no one ever does. But
an axe to the head with a mask on, that's entirely possible. You gotta factor. That's a strong fucking mask.
Yeah, that's.
You gotta factor that into the equation. It's just this fucking little 120-pound girl yielding a fucking axe through a mask, mind you, into his fucking skull. He does some bleeding. He goes down. Now, plus he's a big motherfucker by the time 3 comes around.
Yeah, 3. He fucking was weightlifting between 2 and 3. That fucking...
Yeah, I know. And that's ridiculous. But that's just the direction they went with him, right?
Yeah.
But think about it. That could happen. Axe in the fucking head was really the biggest thing that got him. Then he's out there. Of course, these assholes, they should be able to tell if a guy's alive or dead, but they don't have a movie. But you're going to the movies. That's the best part, though. You're sitting there. This motherfucker's going away. They put him on the they put the slab on the stretcher. They put him in the thing. They take him to the hospital. They get him in there, and it's just a matter of when and how. All right, how's it going to happen? Yeah. How is Jason going to come back? And you're sitting there with that anticipation. What's going to happen? Then when it finally happens and he gets Axel with the first kill, the theater applauded.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You just couldn't wait to see this.
Yep.
And then after that, but I do hear what you're saying. I don't think it's as outlandish as other things.
It's just something in retrospect. It's like, trying to pick apart something that you love, it's like, I love it regardless. It doesn't fucking matter to me. But one thing I do love about part 4 is, and you may or not have noticed this, I don't know, is his fucking hands and his fingernails, dude. He's got fucking the dirtiest, blackest fingernails, and I don't know what it is about that. It looks like he painted them. They're so fucking dirty and black. But it's just every time it's on screen, I'm like, oh my God, look at his hands. Seriously. I fucking love that shit.
They've been nasty since 2, them fucking hands.
Yeah, yeah, but in 4, it's just really prominent, I guess you could say. It's not like Madman Mars hands or anything like that. But call back.
Yeah, gorilla paws. Fucking with Madman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Gorilla paws.
They are nasty. They are some grody ass fucking fingers and hands. You're right.
Well,
that's true.
We could probably talk about this forever, so let's cut it short. But
yeah, we better. Bottom line is Friday the 13th, the final chapter. If you haven't seen it, you listen to the wrong show.
Exactly.
Go out and fucking see it, buddy. Right?
Go see it.
What are you waiting for?
Great
right?
fucking movie. Yeah, if you haven't seen it, turn this off and unfriend me on Facebook. No, with that, we got our part ones coming up. I mean, part ones. Number ones coming up of our Unholy Trinity sequel list. And before we do that, let's take a little break, and we will be right back after this.
My name is Savage, and I'm an admin for one of the greatest horror fan pages around, the Horror Realm. We stand out due to our vast knowledge of all things horror. We're very interactive with our fans and help them to feel welcomed, not shunned or looked down upon for their love of horror. Here at the Horror Realm, we're not just about pointless facts and pointless pictures. We also do surveys, out-of-the-box questionnaires, and we share truly interesting facts that you've always wanted to know. We even have trivia and games to add to all of the fun. Two of our admins have become well known for their almost nightly movie trivia. Droz and the Jackal have created a great fan following for their unique approach to their trivia. Their fun, unique, and ever-changing trivia has become a cornerstone of our page. Some of our fans, known as Droz heads, even compete for their chance to win the hardcore fan title. Pretty Poison, our manager and fearless leader, is very proud of how successful our page has become. She has truly created a place for fans to stop in and not be judged for how much they know about horror, or even that they just know about horror. We have many wonderful admins who work on this page very hard to bring you all that your heart craves and desires. So if you love horror, and live to talk about horror, and you're looking for a great page above the rest, then come and check out the Horror Realm. You'll never be the same. So good fright and good night, podcast viewers.
You hired the Unholy Two because you wanted the best money could buy. Now you got nothing to worry about. We're gonna get the job done. Might talk a lot of shit, but we will get the job done.
All right, guys, we are back. Bananalaser with the Unholy Trinity of Sequels, and we are at our number ones, guys. We are here. It's been a short list and a long talk, and I'll go for mine. Can I get a drum roll, please? All right, no drum roll, fuck you. Okay, my number one, my number one, and this probably doesn't come as a surprise to Mr. Z, is The Devil's Rejects.
You know, I think I'm gonna get me some Tutti fucking Fruity.
As a sequel, it is way superior to the original. Not that that's what makes the list, but it just happens to be so. The grittiness. I mean, I don't even know if you can call this a horror movie. It's really an on-the-run action movie with some horrific elements in it, you know. But the characters in it, how you take these bad people. I mean, these are fucked up, terrible people. Well, now they're your good guys, essentially. They're your lead cast. They're your main characters. You're going to follow them. And you're going to end up rooting for them at the end. And you're going to, you know, when the end happens, it's, I don't want to say touching, but, I mean, that's how he plays the whole thing. You know, it's that you're rooting for these fucking sick fucking fucks the whole time. And that whole aspect of it and the grittiness and the realness of it, I just love this movie. I know you like 1,000 Corpses, but do you like Devil's Rejects?
Yes, I do like Devil's Rejects. I think it falls apart a little bit in the fucking third act. I love the first 45 minutes of it.
Yeah, I can see
I'm
that.
a huge fan of fucking Otis, and I loved Otis in part 1. And everyone was always about Captain Spaulding. Everybody was all about him in part 1 and even part 2. I've always been Otis Driftwood, Bill Moseley, 100%.
Yeah,
I fucking love everything that comes out of his mouth is gold in both of these movies.
Absolutely.
You know, love the way he looks.
His fucking look in this movie is brilliant.
Yes.
When Captain Spaulding, takes off the makeup and stuff, it's just like. It's just okay. We're shedding the goofiness of Dr. Satan and all that fucking just outlandish shit, and we're stripping it down to something that's more real. We're killing off the family. We're putting it at its core characters, and focusing on them, and that's what works. See, to me, I don't even like House of a Thousand Corpses. I don't like that movie. I like parts of it, but I think the characters are too outlandish. And by the end of it, when she's in the caverns and Dr. Satan comes out with this breathing mask, I'm just like, what the fuck is this? I'm not into it. It's too cartoonish.
It is pretty fucked up. The third act is pretty fucked up, but if you take into the equation that it's basically a dream sequence and she's fucking snapped her mind by then,
what?
What? That's what that's what I've come up with.
Really?
Because none of that shit could have. They put all that shit in her head about Dr. Satan.
Wow.
She was even seeing it beforehand. Remember, she had that little dream and she's looking at the grave and she wakes up and she sees Dr. Satan and says, "Here lies Dr. Satan."
Whoa,
and she sees it.
Dude, you are blowing my mind right now. I want to watch this now.
Bunnies and shit, and because they put her in a bunny outfit and the other one they put her down. This is just my theory.
That's brilliant, though. I love that.
That makes it better.
Yeah. Okay. Wow.
And it's weird. And then she gets out and whatever. I just love House of a Thousand Corpses. I can't fucking say this isn't. We're not going to talk about it because I'll go on for 10 minutes. I fucking just love that movie. I love Otis Driftwood. I love everything that goes on. I love the way.
Okay. So
anyway, part 2.
Yeah.
See, I can't even call it part 2. That's another reason. If we're going to call it a sequel, if I'm going to label it a sequel, then it's in my top 10 sequels, yes. But there's just a couple things that I can't get by. It falls a little bit towards the end. Even though I love the characters. Ken Faree is great, and Trejo and Diamond Dallas Page coming in.
Oh, yeah.
And they're great, and fucking... there's a lot of good stuff, and it's full of a lot of fun lines, and it's very quotable. And it's a fun...
Tutti fucking fruity.
Yeah, Tutti fucking fruity. Yeah. Oh, he's great. And the whole chicken fucker thing.
Oh my god, the music.
Oh yeah, the soundtrack. Oh yeah.
Fuck.
It's great.
Awesome.
And the beginning, the beginning with the escape and the hotel and all that shit is fucking badass.
Yeah, Banjo and Sullivan. Oh my god.
Oh man, Banjo and Sullivan won't be performing tonight. Anyway, fucking, I love Bill Moseley in that thing, and it's great. I can't get past some of the shit in the third act.
Yeah. And
it just gets a little weird. And I cannot get past the fucking piss poor fucking CGI.
Oh, the blood? Yeah, the blood and like the knife.
The knife and fucking Priscilla Barnes.
Yeah, the knife is bad.
That scene there and the scene in Land of the Dead where the fucking one zombie's head comes off and it's CGI.
Yeah.
Turned me off to life to those. I shouldn't say turn me off to those movies because I'm still a fan of Devil's Rejects. I just don't hold it in the same regard as Corpses. But I do understand why a lot of people love it, including yourself. I completely get that. I just, House of a Thousand Corpses to me was a movie that was just a complete breath of fresh air. It combined Natural Born Killers and Texas Chainsaw 1 and 2.
Yeah, dude. Okay, you know why he made this movie is because he wanted to make a different movie. He didn't want to make Thousand Corpses 2, but he knew that he could sell Thousand Corpses 2 and get it made way easier. So he just took the characters and then made an entirely different movie. And I wish other people would take that approach. And because sequels have the problem of being the same thing, formulaic. And if somebody goes in it with this frame of mind, it's like, okay, I don't want to make the same movie. I'm not going to do Home Alone 2. whatever, Escape from New York or whatever it is, the exact same fucking movie. Or I'm not going to do Hangover 2. I'm going to take these characters and I'm going to put them. I'm going to, dress them differently. They're going to be slightly, scaled down versions of themselves, and they're going to be in an entirely different environment, and all that, and a different story. I think more people should take that approach to making a sequel, because even though audiences want to see the same thing over and over again, when you do something like this, I think you can come out with something gold, a golden banana like Devil's Rejects.
Right. And it is gold. It is a great movie. I enjoy it, thoroughly.
Yeah.
It's not my number one. Like I said, it's probably in my top 10. To me, Corpses is better.
Yeah.
But whatever, different strokes. But I do enjoy it. I just, there's a couple things that I can't overlook. But I tell you, it's the kind of movie that me and my brother will sit down, have a couple drinks and watch and fucking laugh and have a good time. And
what is
it's great. I can't sit down and watch it like Suspiria and say this is a fucking magnificent movie. Let's fucking take this in. You know what I mean? I do enjoy it. I have a hell of a it's almost like, I don't know. I don't want to say Texas Chainsaw 2 because it's not quite as silly, but I get enjoyment out of it, but I don't take it as seriously. Now, House of a Thousand Corpses, it's one of those movies where I honestly get excited to watch it. It doesn't happen much anymore.
Well, it has Fish Boy. It has Fish Boy in it, right?
Yeah.
Fish Boy?
Yeah, he's been a great help. He's a good guy. Fish Boy!
Right.
Yeah, it's fucking great. But I get excited from the first frame of watching 1,000 Corpses. It's filmed so well. The colors are fucking magnificent.
I gotta go
so
back and watch it.
strange.
And I will now, because you fucking put that theory in my mind about the dream and shit. But I've watched it like once every 5 years, except for like this 5th year, just because I've kind of written it off. Like, it's never gonna happen for me. I'm never gonna like it. But now you've instilled some, a reason in me to like it, I think. So now I don't even own it, but now I think I'm gonna check it out.
Oh man,
Yeah,
yes,
I think I'm
do
gonna go buy it. Yeah.
Oh shit, get the Blu-ray. It's fucking beautiful.
Right on.
But it looks so good. It sounds so good. Anyway, we're not talking about that.
Right,
movie.
exactly. So that's my number
Rejects
one.
is great.
That's my number one, Devil's Rejects. Let's get to your number one. Your top two were Nightmare 3 and Friday 4, and your number one for best horror or favorite horror sequel is.
And this probably won't come as a surprise to you, knowing what I like and everything else. Maybe because I already put one of these fucking on the list.
I knew you were going to do this.
I how could I not? I fucking love it.
Knew you were going
Friday
to
the 13th Part 2.
Knew it. Yeah. And that's ultimately that's my number one pick too. It really is. Fucking Baghead Jason. It's got the campfire scene at the beginning. He tells the story. Like, dude, I mean. Oh, okay.
He's scary in this movie.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fucking like, you know how I feel about freaking deformities and fucking people
and
like
freaks,
that.
Yeah.
Yeah, could you imagine a guy that feels like wearing a bag on his fucking head with one hole cut out?
He's a ginger, Oh man,
he's fucking scary, and the shit he does in this movie is scary.
You see where he's been living. I love that, dude.
Oh man.
Yeah. Just everything about it. This is the fucking the wheelchair guy. The fucking dude oh my god, he gets that fucking machete to the face. It's awesome. He goes down the hill backwards, and then like the camera, it like does this weird zoom in.
Yeah, and then
and like a sound. Oh my god, dude, I fucking love that shit, dude. I fucking love it. Yeah,
it's great, man.
Yeah, Friday 2.
Everything about it.
Yeah, when I forget his name, but when he's telling the campfire story, that at the beginning, that is the best campfire story on film ever. I think.
Yes, it certainly blows fucking TP's rendition away.
Yeah, fucking TP, sit the fuck down.
Right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, oh, it's great.
And then
everything about it.
The fucking the jump scare through the window, dude. It's still. I mean, even though I know it's coming, it's like, the anticipation of it coming.
Yes.
I just love it. The fucking Yep. I mean the fucking.
How about when he's in the bed?
When he sits up real quick and
yes,
yeah, dude.
Could you imagine being in that situation and going in that room and this motherfucking baghead sits up?
Yeah,
Holy
like what?
Fuck.
Oh, poop in my pants, dude. That's fucking great.
Right.
Yeah.
And how about the part at the end, which no one ever talks about, but to me, this scene and the scene in the original Halloween when he sits up and he turns his fucking head slowly after the closet scene are some of the two of the scariest scenes ever. That part when Ginny thinks she gets away, hello, and then she goes into Jason's house and she first gets in the room and she just sits, and then you could see the back window or the window behind Ginny and you could see Jason approaching her and there's no sound. You see that bag bouncing and he's running. And on the Blu-ray, you see him even further off.
Oh,
and that's
cool.
So fucking scary. That anticipation, like you said with the window scene, that spooks the shit out of me.
Yeah, that's great.
Fucking love it. Man, there's only one thing that could have made this movie better. If Savini would have been on makeup and the MPAA would not have hacked it to shit, it would have maybe been the best horror movie ever, bar none.
What's that?
This would have been it. No, I'm saying if Savini would have done the makeup for part 2, which he didn't because he went away to the burning,
it would have been.
If it wouldn't have been hacked up to pieces, but by the MPAA anyway, this could have been the best horror movie ever.
Yep.
And I teeter between Halloween and Friday 2 as the best fucking slasher of all time, all the time.
Have you seen? You probably have. You've seen Bay of Blood or Twitch of a Death Nerve?
The Death Nerve, yes. Ava.
That you know what I'm gonna say, right?
They borrowed that scene.
Yeah. It's got like 2 kills. It's got the
correct.
It's got the machete to the face. That is just it seems like a blatant ripoff, but I mean, really,
he claims he never saw it.
Right, exactly.
Is he a bullshitter? I don't know.
Well, it's like you're making a slasher movie. What are you gonna do? Yeah, you're gonna take a machete to the face. That makes sense.
Sure.
You're gonna have 2 people doing it on a bed. What are you gonna do? You're gonna skewer them together. That's of course you're gonna think of that. I kind of believe him.
Yeah.
But yeah, those 2 deaths were in Bay of Blood or Twitch of the Death Nerve, whatever you want to call it. And they're almost they're so identical, it's kind of ridiculous. But whatever, that's a different discussion, I guess.
Right, but there's nothing. It's just a great movie. They just don't make movies like this anymore. And everything about it, the soundtrack. It's a lot like Part 1, sure. And Part 1 is great, is a fantastic movie in its own right.
Yeah, but this one has the whole, it drops the whole like whodunit aspect and has the whole lore of the villain that it's this guy out there. You already know who it is. What's he all about? They say it right off the bat. There's this that no one ever knows what happened to old Jason. All this stuff. They say he drowned, but did he really? And all this stuff. And it's the real campfire tale.
Sure.
And that's why they have that scene right at the beginning, and that's why it's a guy living out in the woods. It's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, and he does things. He actually thinks in this movie, and he runs. He runs and he thinks. 2 things that he doesn't do in the sequels later on.
Now, let me ask you this. Now, obviously, the sequels abandoned the look of him immediately for whatever reason. I don't know why. But would you prefer to see this Jason go on? And I'm not just talking about the mask. I'm talking about the whole ginger look, the smaller physique and everything. Would you like to see it go forward with that, or are you happy that they changed it to a more menacing, bulkier kind of guy?
People ask that question, and I'm really stuck with it because I do like the way he looked in 3 and 4. But two is my favorite, and he looks scarier to me in 2 with the bag on his head.
He does, but see, they did the right thing, though. I'm telling you.
Well, the mass audience gravitated to that. I don't think they would have. I think they wanted to go. I think they were looking at Michael Myers' mask or whatever, and they wanted to go with something more marketable.
Yes, exactly.
You know,
and I think it was obviously it was the right choice ultimately because
I mean,
it
the
fucking
hockey
worked.
mask is fucking iconic.
But
right.
I think something like Baghead Jason would only work for one movie. I think if we had Baghead Jason in Part 3, it wouldn't have been the same. I think it would have lessened Part 2, and I think that's why we like Part 2 so much more, because it's kind of a one-off with the Jason, you know. And all the other Jasons, they have so much, they're all different, but they have more similarity than this Jason here. And so it's kind of a one-off Jason, and I think, I mean, don't get me wrong, there's a lot of great elements in it, but that's kind of why we love this movie. I think
that's one of many reasons. Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know if he would have had the bag on in 3, the first half, before he even found the mask. Who knows? He might have been. The thing is, when a guy's real big, and then has a sack on his head, I don't think it would equate. It doesn't seem to make sense. A guy that's real big and bulky doesn't have to cover himself.
That wouldn't, no, that wouldn't have worked. But if
he's
he
more
was
insecure because he's smaller. Also,
if he was the small Jason, you stick the smaller ginger Jason in Part 3. Excuse me. Would that have worked? I don't think so at all. Because
I don't know if they changed the kills, because a lot of the kills were based upon his size.
Yeah. See,
that's just it. It's a different kind of movie.
Right.
You know, it became something different in 3 and 4, and then even more so later on, that it was all about him being this fucking killing machine and being so strong.
Right.
So the kills would have been different kills, but I don't know. I hear what you're saying, and the answer is it probably would have run out of steam, or it probably would not have worked as well.
No, they wouldn't have got to, I mean,
with as
many sequels. They wouldn't have got him to space if he still had overalls and a fucking sack on his head, that's for sure. Can you imagine, dude? Fucking Jason X, and he's got overalls and a sack and a pitchfork still. Oh my God. Somebody make that poster, please.
Right?
Oh
yeah,
God.
Right. Tristan, where are you?
Yeah, get on that shit.
Definitely. Fucking Jason X.
Sackhead X. Yeah.
Yes.
All right. Well,
but I mean, you make good points though about the mask and everything else. But Part 2, still to me, is fucking. It's untouchable.
Absolutely, and
even in reference with movies that aren't horror, that are sequels, there's very few. Godfather 2, really, you could probably list them on one hand. Sequels that surpassed or equaled the original, there's very, very few. And
true.
This is a gem, and it's a horror movie, and you know, to me, there's nothing else. As far as you're going to say, you know, the ultimate Part 2, the ultimate sequel for a horror movie.
Have you seen Arthur 2 on the Rocks with Dudley Moore?
I'm going to be fucking Arthur 2 on the Rocks. One more drink.
All right. Well, I mean, we could talk about this forever. I think we should get out of here.
Quick.
Yeah, exactly.
Is coming after us next. The phone might ring.
Yeah, who knows?
Right?
I fucking unhooked that fucking thing. Anyways, so yeah, guys, that was the Unholy Trinity. I keep wanting to say trilogy.
Yes, it's so easy to say. It comes off the tongue easier. Yes.
Unholy
3.
Yeah, the Unholy 3 with sequels. And those are our picks. And let us know if you like them, if you agree, disagree, tell us you want us to die, whatever, all that shit. Call us, leave us a voicemail. We might play it on the air. Send us an email, bananalaser@gmail.com. Like us on Facebook. Join the Facebook group page. That is pants optional. It's definitely fun there. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Find us on horrorphilia.com. All kinds of places. So there
everywhere.
We are. Yep, we are everywhere at this point. And so with that being said, we're going to get out of here. Dave, it's been a pleasure as always, sir.
You know it, brother. Fucking awesome. Rock and roll.
Yep. And with that, we're going to go and thought to ponder. Would Sackhead Jason work in space? I don't know. Maybe. See ya, fuckers.
Check you later.
Sundown Sacks.